after season 3, Hopper, I just feel like season 4 had to really deliver, but I don't think it hit the mark after the events of season 3 with Soldier Boy. What do you think?
Yeah, the boys had this magic ratio going where like season 1 was great, and season 2 delivered upon season 1, and it was kind of building stuff up, and then season 3 even more so. Just
season 3 was peak boys.
Absolutely, and I think that's why we are kind of feeling like season 4 is missing the mark a little bit.
Yeah, like even if we say this is the worst season, it's still a great season.
Oh yeah, The Boys is amazing, and it's well written, well acted. There's a couple things we'll pick apart in this. Obviously, watch this season if you haven't. That's our spoiler-free review.
Absolutely, there will be spoilers.
Yes, but I think season 5 is going to be good. It's like the Iron Man 2 problem where Iron Man 2 suffers a little bit, but the Avengers is like, whoa!
Yeah, and I'm really putting a lot of hope on the series finale season.
Like, where does the universe go after The Boys season 5? Like, I'm sure it's all going to be over. Like, I know that's the last one they're planning for. Is Gen V season 2 going to be the last season of Gen V, do we think?
Do we think we're getting Gen V season 2 and then The Boys season 5?
Yeah, I bet it'll be 2026 before they do another season of The Boys.
I'm kind of okay with that.
Which is cool. We didn't get to see much. We got to see some of the kids from Godolkin, Sam and Kate, or something.
I think her name was Kate.
And she's comes toward the end of this too. Well, let's go ahead. Let's just talk about the season. So we left off on episodes 1 through 4. You can check in the corner for that little link to our first review of the first half of the season. So we're gonna do the second half now. What were your thoughts? Closing the season, how was it?
It was good. It wasn't great. It was good though. There were a few things I'm not okay with, and there were a few things I was holding out for the second half that just didn't deliver.
Like what? Give me some examples.
It really shown how kind of far down Huey and even Annie kind of fell in the whole show itself. Their stories kind of got all over the place. Huey kind of took a backseat this entire season.
Huey felt like he got a lot of unnecessary torture.
Yeah.
Huey's dad dies. Huey's mom comes back in to pour salt on the wound. I guess they made up, which is good. But also, like, the whole dad stuff was so traumatic.
Yeah, we get the Tech Knight stuff.
The Tech Knight stuff was terrible. That whole episode I was not really enjoying.
Yeah, like he's sitting on the cake with his pants down.
Yeah, there's a fine balance between, like, these successful people are so, they're so in control and so powerful that they have to do horrible, nasty stuff to get the rocks off. And there's an element of that, but like every single character's like that, and I shouldn't say that. I don't think Homelander.
A lot of them are though.
Homelander's not going to make someone like do something perverted in front of him, but he's evil in different ways.
Are you kidding me?
Like what?
He literally made a guy jack off in front of him.
Yeah, but that was a humiliation thing. He wasn't trying to get off on that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But that's the thing, and then they gloss over that. Like that's some mental stuff right there. Huey gets put through the ringer, and no one cares.
Well, there's no balance. Like I was trying, like I'm trying to say, like there's all this stuff, and we can make fun of the big elites, but then there's this aspect of the boys where it normally kind of balances out, and they get their comeuppance, and then there's some sort of whatever. I mean, Tech Knight does get his comeuppance, but it's not satisfying, is it?
No, it's really not.
It's kind of funny.
He's kind of killed off screen a little bit too.
Well, he's killed by his butler on screen. He's choked out.
Yeah, but I don't think he fully killed him yet. He was like,
we got it. We got the point.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That whole thing, and Ashley was like, I think they're trying to redeem Ashley, by the way. I don't think I'm here for it. She's not the character to redeem, in my opinion.
Yeah, I was disappointed by that. Annie, I get it. She's going through a lot, but look at everyone in the show. Everyone's going through a lot, and Annie is just upping this whole play the victim card.
Yeah.
And it's really just not a good look. Huey, his dad died after he thought he saved him. His mom comes back. He gets sexually assaulted. He gets sexually assaulted again, thinking that he's, with Annie, but it turns out to be the shifter. And Annie blames him for that one.
Yeah.
Like, and all of these things, it's like, yeah, Annie, you have it tough, but so does everyone else. MM's got hives, for crying out loud,
He had a panic attack, essentially.
Yeah, almost died. People are dying. So it's like, I don't like their relationship in this season.
I did like the back half of that arc for Andy, because she does. I mean, granted, like I get where she's coming from too. Like her whole deal in this season is that like Homelander and Firecracker and whoever, they're trying to like put immense blame on her. Like she's the focus of this whole movement of like SJWs. Like she's the villain. Like she's the devil in this scenario for them and like all the people that are following them. But I will say, I love that she acts holier than thou, and she gets called out for it by the shifter.
Oh yeah,
because the shifter's reading her mind, and she's like, "Oh, boo-hoo! You're not better than anyone. You're essentially just as bad. burning people's eyes out. You're, doing all this other horrible stuff.
Being a bully at the pageants.
Yeah, so you deserve some of what's coming to you. And honestly, that's what The Boys does really well. It makes you kind of hate. It makes you kind of hate characters that you sympathize with.
Yeah, absolutely.
But to the point where you just got to pick the lesser of all the evils. Like if you're going about it this route, which is why I like we get this little thing from Huey where they're going to redeem Newman at the very end of the last episode, and he's like, He's like, killing people is not brave. Like torturing people is not brave. It's learning to forgive and to love and to offer that helping hand.
Yeah,
because they're going to try to get Newman's kids safe because she's now the VP.
Yeah, and she wants out.
Yeah, she wants out because Homelander's obviously going to just rule her. He's going to be like the overlord for her, and she's not thought too much. I think she was just trying to reach for power.
Yeah,
but she was being manipulated ultimately, and so she reaches out for Huey to try to help, and then that's when we get the unsatisfying conclusion to her story.
Yeah, I didn't like that, but I will say, Butcher coming back to just being Butcher, I love, because the whole season he's like, okay, I'll do it your way, I'll do it this way, and you can see he suffers from it. His character's not nearly as engaging or nice to watch or be around and stuff. We get Joe Kessler being confirmed as a hallucination.
Yeah,
I was right about that. I'm calling that right now. I called that. So when he comes back and says, you know what, scorched earth, I should have been doing this all along, kind of thing. I was happy to see that. Even if Newman was the one that got the brunt of it.
No, I wanted Butcher to be redeemed, and I think he still might get redeemed right before. I think he's gonna die.
Oh, 100%.
Call that right now. Yeah. But I do think he gets redeemed before it, and I don't think it may even come to the fact that he doesn't kill Homelander, and we let Homelander live. But I don't know if that's gonna be satisfying or not. It depends on how they do it. But they need to do it in such a way where no one's got blood all over the hands. They've already got blood on it. Everyone's got blood on their hands.
Yeah.
But that scene where Butcher turns is incredible because you get Ryan, who's obviously afraid of his life, or afraid for his life. Homelander was like, "I'm your dad, not this freaking washed up English turd
loser."
Or whatever. Yeah. And so he goes crazy and he wrecks the house and everything. So Ryan has to leave, and he goes to visit Butcher in this super secret hospital kind of facility.
Yeah.
And then freaking Mallory doesn't just shut the hell up and let the boys talk. She comes in and ruins the whole thing. Butcher would have totally gotten Ryan on their side, and they were going to try to okay, we're going to use you as a weapon, Ryan. No, don't say that to him. Don't even make that.
No.
Because the fact that
Mallory pushed all the wrong buttons.
Yeah, no, and she was being honest about it. She's like, oh, I lost my grandkids, and so I love you, Ryan, you're all this stuff. And then just proceeds to about to gas him and, make him just lay there until they come and fetch him out. But I don't know. Mallory got killed for her mistakes, and maybe fairly. Ryan didn't deserve any of that.
She died, and I didn't feel anything, unfortunately.
I was like, you are the problem here, Mallory.
I was like, you were pushing.
Even
I don't know
Butcher,
how you think you're not going to die there.
Even Butcher was trying to be like, hold on, love. Let's hear him out. Let's have a talk.
Yeah.
And she was freaking immediately we're going to have to use you as a weapon, brother. Sorry about it.
He's like, I'm 12.
I'm already mentally, scarred from my dad killing people in front of me and having all this fame and attention to my head and all this stuff.
Absolutely.
I don't know. Ryan's he gets away. I don't know if he goes back to Homelander.
It'll be interesting to see what Ryan does in this next season.
There's a couple loose plot threads that I'm interested to see, like A-Train.
Yes, I did like A-Train's story throughout.
I'm glad that he was redeemed in a satisfying way. He's still a turd, and I think he's still but he's not as bad as
But he's making up
else.
for it. He's realized, hey, being a hero, a real hero, is actually very fulfilling.
Yeah, and we get the deep going the other way, where he's like, "Oh, I love killing people now.
Yeah.
Oh, I love getting boners from killing people."
Yeah, dude.
Stuff.
And that's when he punches that dude, he goes, "Tell me I'm the best in the seven," and all this other stuff, and then he just punches him through the head.
You respect me the most, right? And he's like, "Yeah." And he goes, "You're probably too scared, but I accept it." Then he just kills him anyway.
And then they kill Ashley, and it's like, that's not even the right Ashley. She's not even on the list. And he's like, oh.
He's like, well, in my defense, everyone's named Ashley around here.
Yeah. Which, fun fact, I don't know if we mentioned this before, but I saw it on Twitter. The guy who's playing Noor is narcoleptic, and it's because he's narcoleptic in real life, so they thought they'd just keep it in. They thought it was hilarious.
That whole moment when they found that out, too, it's like, this guy, the guy who's playing Noor now, he's starting to go bad. He was like, oh, I got a chub or whatever he said.
Murder boner.
Yeah, but at least, he was just an actor. He was just kind of trying to,
a souped-up actor, too, first of all.
Yeah, that scene where they're fighting him, and he's like, he can fly, and then he's like, he can talk.
Total Shrek reference right there. We saw it.
He can fly.
Did he just talk?
He can fly. He can fly. He can talk.
Also, I wish that fight with Annie in the deep, I wish she would have just taken him down. Like, just take him out once in a
And
while.
Mim goes, do you know how to kill him? Because I don't. It's like, smash his head in, like every other soup you've killed.
How about you take a book out of Twilight and just rip his head off and burn it? Like,
Yeah.
it's something you could do.
What do you mean you don't know how to kill him? He's right there. Kill him.
I mean, just put some explosives in his butt or whatever, like you did with Translucent.
It's also, I don't like, because in the first few seasons, after season 1, so season 2, you get this, like, almost redemption of the Deep. You start feeling bad for him because you realize how much people shit on him. He gets that weird scene where the lady's, like, putting her hands in his gills kind of thing. And it really seems like he's coming back. And he's like, I'm ready to be part of the 7. He rides in on the whale, and he's just wanting to please people. And then he just spirals down. They're like, okay, we're not going to redeem him anymore. We'll do A-Train instead. Like, it's a complete flip, you know?
I love that scene because he's like got this whole arc, and he has Patton Oswalt talking through his gills.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, maybe I don't have to be ashamed of my gills. Maybe I can just be who I am, be who I am. And then he goes back to the 7. Immediately, Homelander's like, ooh, cover that up. That's gross. Your gill is showing.
Yeah,
And
he's like, that's
what?
disgusting. And he's like, oh, okay.
It's because he wanted validation from the 7. He didn't like just take his own validation that he got from himself. He keeps going back to his abusers, essentially.
Yeah.
He keeps going back to because he's too dumb.
Yeah.
The Deep is a dumbass.
Yeah.
And we see that in this season because Sage has to lobotomize herself to be with him.
And it turns out she was also with Black Noir, but wasn't lobotomizing herself.
Maybe my favorite reveal of the whole season
He
was
goes,
that.
Bro. This cracked me up, dude.
Bro.
I do like their bromance. I think it's cool.
Well, I like that, but like he was like, oh, me and the other original Black Noir were like really bros, and it's like, how? He didn't talk. What are you
You
talking
think
about?
that you were. That's totally all in your head type thing.
Yeah, that was another thing about season 3, like that was another, I guess, another penny in the bucket of like unsatisfying deaths because like Soldier Boy and Noir had this whole like thing going on.
Yeah.
Remember how Soldier Boy like essentially like lobotomized him in the first place?
Yeah.
And then he doesn't ever have like a redemption against Soldier Boy. He didn't have any kind of
No,
even,
he gets killed by a Homelander,
Yeah.
essentially off screen. You know what I mean?
It was on screen.
Yeah, we
These things are
saw
on
that,
screen.
but it was like the most uneventful thing. He just put his arm through his chest. You know?
Yeah, it was unsatisfying for
Yes.
sure.
So
But that's sort of something that the boys keep suffering from because I think Newman was the same way. Like we didn't need that Newman death. In that
ending
way.
these threads, they're not the best at.
Yeah, but I think they're just to make. I think. See, I kind of go back and forth because I do like that it's so random and weird and like it's almost like Game of Thrones is real. Like people die in real ways, especially like in these high volatile environments.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's a narrative work of fiction, so we can plan out how these characters do die and like what they get to do. So some of these characters are just victims of bad timing, essentially. Like Butcher begins his new arc by tearing down this person that essentially was going to get redeemed, is redeemed, essentially. Because she's fighting back against Homelander and Vought and all this stuff. She's going to help the boys take down Vought for once and for all. And then turns out killing her was a bad idea.
Yeah. Well, really bad idea.
Because I guess Sage was working the angle the whole time. And so she knew that Newman wasn't going to be a good patsy. So
Yeah.
like they needed both the president and the VP gone to get this.
And now
this third
Sage
guy.
is like, I like doing this.
Yeah, she's
This
just
is
evil
fun.
to be evil. She's evil
Yeah.
to see if she could do it, essentially.
Yeah, she's like, buckle up. This is round 2 is about to start. That's terrifying.
Where do we go from there? Where do you think that... Because in the comics, I know that, like, essentially Homelander just takes over the White House by force.
Yeah.
In this, he kind of is given the White House,
Mhm.
which is interesting because it's not just, like, easily ended like it is. Like, they just kill him and take it out and it's done in the comics.
Yeah.
But in this, it's like, okay, we've got to actually figure, like, a diplomatic solution alongside a solution to actually get rid of these people.
Yeah,
so they're
because if
not
you just
continuous
kill them,
threat.
the people are like, we'll just put another soup in charge.
It's like total...
Like you have to throw back the curtain to superheroes as a whole in this next
Yeah.
season.
Yeah,
People
yeah.
have to see that they are bad.
Even like I don't even know the whole virus thing is a new plot thread as well. Do you think they'll use the virus and like make a big?
I don't know. This whole virus being thrown around like, oh, we don't have it. Oh, we have it. Oh, we don't have it. Like,
Yeah.
bro, pick a side. Get rid of it or use it.
Also, is it now to where you can use it? Because I think Frenchie made it to where you could use it, but it's not going to be like a whole pandemic.
Yeah.
But is that the case now? Do we still? I mean, I think that's still up in the air too for me.
Yeah. I think the virus is still up in the air. I'm not sure.
Because they've made it, and they've made it to a way where you can use it against soups. We see that Kimiko's leg gets like tarnished essentially. It's starting to like bubble and boil. Even though the lamb that had it like just like crapped its pants or crapped and vomited or something.
Yeah.
What What about Kimiko in this season? I like that. It looks like we're going to get her talking in the next season. Maybe she was doing speech therapy all season. So
Kimiko's another mixed bag for me because on the one hand, they just completely let her storyline just fade into nothing.
Yeah.
You know, she doesn't track down the lady. She doesn't get redemption from the. She doesn't figure that out. What are they called? The
Shining Light.
The Shining Light. That whole story just falls apart.
It fizzles after Huey gets his leg broken in that fight with in the warehouse or whatever. Like we just kind of don't hear about Shining Light anymore.
Yeah. Also, I feel like Kimiko has just been nerfed season over season. You remember in season 1, she's like kicking ass. How many times in this season has she fought a soup and not got her neck broken?
Well, I think that's the whole point of her powers, though, too, because we do see her take a lot of hits, but she keeps coming back from it, too, you know?
Yeah, but she's not winning any fights. Like, she's there to be the heavy hitter for the boys, and she's not a heavy hitter.
Well, it's that power creep thing we talk about where, like, each soup gets more powerful and more powerful.
Yeah.
And
But overall, I like that she starts, again, spoiler, speaking there at the end. Her and Frenchie end up being together. I don't like the whole first 4 episodes where they weren't together, because in season 3, it basically showed that they were going to get together.
Yeah, I think that was... See, that was a big runaround, too. Frenchie just... He feels guilty for killing all those people, which I get it.
Yeah.
That's fine. And then they put him in jail, but then, they turn right back around and be like, no, you're not done yet.
Yeah.
You got to make this virus for us. You're still with us.
Yeah, Frenchie goes, I didn't want to leave. I was made to. It's like, then why did we have this whole thing of him going to jail?
And I liked where Kimiko was like, well, I didn't want to date you because I also think of myself as bad, as a bad person, and I don't deserve love, essentially. And Frenchie's like, well, I was just saying what, you know, they're both they're both in this weird angle of hating each other so much to date someone else, I guess. But they do kind of get over that, I guess, by him going to jail and her coming to visit him so many times without actually seeing him. Mm-hmm. It refocuses everything for both of them, maybe.
Yeah. I'm glad they're together. I think it took a little too long.
Yeah, we saw it coming. Like, just
do it. I think the whole judge thing was weird.
Yeah, the judge's son and all that stuff.
Yeah, like him dating the judge's son and stuff. Yeah, I was never mad about it, the fact that he was dating a dude, because I knew Frenchie was that kind of guy.
We got those vibes.
I was mad about the fact that he should have just been with Kimiko. That was what I was mad about. Don't build up this relationship in season 3 to then be like, oh, I'm dating this dude instead. You know,
it's like The Office. Like Jim and Pam, once they finally get together, it's not super satisfying. Like we need that give and take of will they, won't they? You know?
Yeah. Well, it was super satisfying for me.
Well, yeah, but then we got Huey and Starlight who are already dating, and they've had their kind of back and forth too. But
yeah, but then they get even more in this season.
God, yeah. I don't know. I like the shifter thing though. I thought that was a good way to flesh out her character more, fighting herself,
yes,
in visually and as well as metaphorically.
Because
she's fighting herself.
Like you said before, Annie really does think that she's just the best.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She's got all this crap thrown at her she doesn't deserve. You know what I mean? And the shifter really shows, no, your powers aren't working because you're conflicting, and your body knows that you're in the wrong here. You know,
Spider-Man 2.
Big facts. You know, so I did like that. I like that a lot.
What about Ashley getting powers? She kind of V's herself up.
I think she's going to be some ugly blob of a person thing. I'm thinking Jabba the Hutt or something absolutely ugly and terrifying to look at.
There was a couple things I saw that made me laugh. Somebody was like, what if she just grows her hair back? What if that's her superpower?
I know, I saw her wig come off and I was like, no way they're about to grow her hair back. And then it didn't, and her head was moving. I said, oh, she's going to be ugly.
She might have Megamon powers or something crazy.
Yeah.
Could be cool. I mean, she could be she could be the reverse Sage, where she comes and helps the boys in the opposite way that Sage is helping Homelander, you know?
Yeah, or she amounts to nothing and dies in the second episode.
She might even just be dead from the V, so it might not be compatible with her head.
I do love that too. The Deep's like, what about Ashley? She knows everything, and Homelander's like, that's a good idea. Yeah, put her on the list.
She's so pathetic. Even the soups don't even care. She's not even that. She's not even memorable enough for them to kill her. He's like, what's her last name? Do we know her last name?
No one knew her last name.
It's Barrett. Ashley Barrett.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I just did a little video essay about the marketing, so she's all over the marketing.
Oh, yeah.
The boys.
True. The whole thing with her and the host.
Oh, yeah. The Cameron Coleman.
Yeah, because the whole the mole thing was they used him instead, which was wild. But yeah, I mean, what about pluses? What's a good plus? I feel like we've been negging on it for a while now.
Pluses, it's another great season of The Boys. I like that Butcher took himself to the next extreme and gave himself essentially superpowered cancer.
Yeah.
I think they even say that at one point.
Yeah.
Jeffrey D. Morgan's character's Yeah, I'm the visualization of the cancer swirling around your guts and brain. It's
Yeah.
like,
Because we saw it in the rabbit too.
Yeah, yeah.
We're like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
that's coming out of
Butcher.
Butcher.
So I kind of don't like that. Joe is his name, right? Jeffrey Dean
Joe
Morgan?
Kessler.
Joe Kessler. I kind of don't like that he's like the manifestation of it.
Yeah.
But like, how else would you kind of make him battle himself? You either just do like an evil version of Butcher that's there, or you. And I'm fine with the hallucinations because I think Becca will win in the end of it.
Yeah, I like that though. Right now, the wolf thing, like he has got a good wolf, bad wolf.
Yeah.
Bad wolf is totally won. You don't see Becca anymore.
Yeah,
Ever
Becca's
since you
just
realized
gone.
Joe was a hallucination, Becca's been gone since.
And it's weird that he's like working with the cancer but it's cool. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, it's cool. I do think it's just a gross visual. I don't get grossed out a lot. I don't like tentacles or veins or like.
Yeah.
Remember in JoJo's Part 2 where like one of the stone men has his veins like come out of his arms and
Yes,
attack people?
dude.
I don't like that stuff.
Yeah.
But it is anime inspired.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it feels to me.
Yeah. The fact that he's strong enough to rip apart Newman,
Yeah.
who can survive Homelander blast, like
Yeah.
she's got like invulnerability. Like not every soup has invulnerability at the same level. Like the shifter can get shot, she can keep walking.
Yeah.
But bullets and stuff would just bounce off Newman. They threw acid on her. Her skin's
Yeah,
impenetrable. And Butcher just ripped her in half like she was nothing.
So at what point is he strong enough to maybe take out Homelander on his own? Maybe not. Maybe not. you
Maybe.
know?
I'm kind of disappointed in Newman's powers too, because like I've been watching Jujutsu Kaisen,
Okay.
and there's a guy in there who can control blood, and he was talking about I can raise and lower the temperature of it, I can separate cells, I can do this with your platelets, all this intricate stuff. Newman has all those powers too. Like she should be a god that she can control blood. You know what I mean?
is weird
but all
that-
she does is use it to blow people's heads up.
Well, we get Marie, who's got the same type of powers, but she uses it more waterbendery almost, you know?
Yeah.
So it'll be cool to see what they do with her coming
Yeah.
up.
I'm excited because like blood powers should be an S tier perk.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Especially if you're like using it to build pressure in someone's head and explode it.
Yeah.
Also, like, why didn't she just explode Butcher's head? You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Like we see him cover her eyes with his little cancer tumor, whatever it was.
So is it the eyes control everything?
No, because we see in the barn episode, everyone's nose starts bleeding, and then she walks in later.
Yeah.
So
and
like,
she even told the Marie in Gen V, she goes, feel it. Just feel the blood, you know?
So I think maybe it was just a whole disorientation thing of like, what am I doing? Everything's he's like spinning her around, he's throwing her against the wall and stuff. And her daughter getting to go to the Red River.
Man, that's cold.
That's so sad.
That's so cold.
I
I
got
don't
really
know. That
upset
daughter
for
was
her.
kind of a bitch. You saw her giving looks to Kimiko, and I was like, "Yo, don't look at Kimiko like that."
I like when Frenchie goes, "Oh, the next time we saw you had the braces," and Newman's like, "Let's not do that.
Yeah.
Let's not do that."
And Fridgen's like, "I saw her eat a man's face off. We're going there."
Another loose plot thread is Juan Carlos Esposito's character.
Yeah, where's he going?
Where's he at? We know he got rescued from the police. It's just a matter of time before he comes back.
Yeah.
He might be key to stopping Homelander. Maybe?
Every time he's on screen, I just feel calm. I'm like, I don't care what happens, he's gonna be in control of it. You know what I mean? Like the whole season, I'm like stressed. I don't know what's happening next. I don't know what's
Yeah.
going on. Anytime he comes on, I'm like, okay, cool. Finally, an adult's here who can like solve this
An
problem.
adult is here.
Yeah.
We didn't even talk about the whole barn, like the whole beat up
Animals.
barn.
Why did it make him go
animals.
crazy though? I don't understand that.
I don't know. Maybe they're just animalistic. Maybe they just go crazy anyway. But now they've got the means to, you know.
Yeah, the chicken just going through people's chests.
That's classic The Boys. That's
Yeah.
classic over the top gore, but it's funny.
That raises the question: did they go too far this season with
With the gore
the
and
amount
stuff.
of gore and dicks and assholes and stuff? Like, do you think it's a little much even for the boys, or you think it was still about the same?
I don't know. Season 3 had a guy go into another guy's pee hole, so
Yeah.
that's as far as it got for me. I don't think anything's been as gross as that. Just
Yeah.
objectively, the Splitter eating himself out and stuff was kind of gross too. But
Ugh.
But I don't think that's quite as far for me as like going into a tooth pee hole.
I don't know. When you've got a human centipede ass eating when it's one dude.
That's what makes it less gross for me, at least, because it's just one guy. He's just doing it to himself, essentially. It is. Don't get me wrong. It's foul. It's horrible. But
Yeah. I love the dynamic between Firecracker and Homelander by the end of it.
Yeah.
You know, she's like, I'm taking all these meds so I can breastfeed you. And now she's getting sick. Me and Des were watching the final episode, and I was like, me and Des were like, did she get infected somehow? Is this an infection thing? And it's not. But then she's like, no, it's the medicine. I'm sick from that. And he goes, Get the fuck away from me. Go away.
Dude, the whole flip flop because he's just such a douche. Like he really doesn't care about her at first. She's only there to like. Sage only brings her in so she can like intimidate Starlight and kind of be the opposite of Starlight on their team. But then by the end of it, she's like in there trying to she's engorged her heart. Is what she said. She takes a bunch of medicine, increases your heart size just a little bit so you can lactate.
Yeah.
And then Homelander's all about it for that one episode. And then the next time we see her trying to like do it to him, he's kind of like giving her the side eye and he's looking at her boobs and he's like, get out, get the hell out.
Yeah.
And then by the end of it, she's getting it in glasses for him.
Yeah, and he's just drinking it.
This is so gross.
Ugh. But then also, I'm upset with her because like we don't ever. She snaps her finger one time and there's like smoke that comes out of it.
Yeah.
Is she really just a D-rate hero that's got a mouth on her?
I think so. I think that's the whole point. Is like everyone else has these amazing powers and they're all just like these amazing killers as well as great talkers and everything. But her, it's just solely like her influence. Like her power, her superpower is essentially just the power to like rile people up and get them, against Starlight and everything.
Yeah, I love it. By the end of it, like they keep referencing the 7. It's like there's 3 of you.
Yeah,
there's 4 of you if you count Firecracker. I would not count her in a fight. There's 3 of you.
And even like they fire Sage, so they really just have Homelander deep in the war. It's like the main 3 at this point. Get another person in there.
Yeah, throw someone else in there. Somebody.
But it does. I mean, like just the whole. I think just from Homelander's like radius, like everyone around him. Because in earlier seasons, like the Deep was helping out too. He would like fish out evidence from the water and like give it to Stillwell or give it to Maeve.
He drowned that senator in the pool that one time.
Yeah, but now he's pretty much only just working for Homelander. Like he's only doing what Homelander wants him to do. And I don't know. The Deep is still very funny. The whole stuff with the octopus, I thought was a little over the top.
Man, that was weird.
It was hard. It was hard to watch for sure.
And every time he thought she was dead, she was like, "Please."
Yeah. Too, because they just showed her on the bed. So like, whenever she
was on the bed for a while.
Yeah, and I don't think octopuses like they're obviously marine animals, but they can go. Like I've seen a video of one like getting out of its tank, going into a separate tank, eating a clam, crawling back out of the tank and go back into its own tank. So I think they can kind of survive outside of water for a little bit.
30 to 60 minutes an octopus can stay out of the water.
That's wild.
And she died in 2.
Maybe 5, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was funny, though. I do think that was sort of Kevin killing him, his like humanity, ironically enough, by killing the octopus.
Yeah.
Like, he had the chance to get out, and he had the chance to live this happy life with this.
Yeah, just go in the ocean. That sounds way better, But if you're into fish.
He's just all about the popularity. I think it's more about the popularity and
that validation from others kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. So, and maybe just even from Homelander. Like, he just wants, to serve Homelander at this point. Like, he's all about that. So, it sucks, but it's kind of where we're at with him. Oh, we get... another funny callback to Supernatural. We get Jim Beaver giving his classic catchphrases.
Idjit and balls. I wish that they were spread out a little bit more.
Yeah.
Having them both at the same time. Because he said idjit. I was like, oh, I mean, that's like, he did the thing. Soy face. And then right after he said balls, and I said, well, now I don't like this. I don't like this anymore.
You should have done one at the beginning and one now.
Yeah. Or like when you get caught and you're going to jail, it should have been like, oh, balls, as they're putting them in the car or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would have been better,
No, I agree with that. But we're getting Padalecki in the next season, so.
Oh, is that confirmed?
Yeah, they
Nice.
found a role for him, so hopefully we'll get just a Supernatural reunion in that.
Let's go. Soldier Boy's coming back too.
Soldier Boy's coming back.
So excited! Yep. I'm telling you, he changed the face of the boys for me.
I don't know why. He's like the funniest character. Like I love Fab Five Freddy told me everybody.
Dude, I love that. They go back to the hotel he's at, and he's making out with some 80-year-old lady.
He's like, no one does it like they do.
Yeah, he's like, we were just talking about this and that from the '60s, and this just,
He goes, I like when Huey's like, he's like, you're gonna find him? You don't even know about Bluetooth or Wi-Fi or any of that stuff. And he goes, you made those words up.
Yeah, I love it too. Like Huey's like, you didn't storm D-Day. You didn't do this. You didn't pop them in the face. He goes, I warned you. And he like left.
How about you gargle my ball sack?
Dude, I love him, dude. He's the best thing to happen to the boys.
But that's part of the reason why season 3 was so engaging was because that character versus like the new ones we get in this one. Like Sage is intimidating and she's sort of like manipulative and all that stuff, but she's not as fun to watch as Homelander or Soldier Boy. And so same with Firecracker. She's there, but she's like almost a little too much, a little
Yeah.
too on the nose kind of
Yeah.
thing. So he
That's-
was perfect.
I love the fact that Jensen Ackles beefed up for it, and
Yeah.
Anthony Starr was like, "Why don't you just tell them to pad your suit more?" That's what I do. I maintain one weight, and if they want me to get bulkier, they just pad the suit more.
That's so funny. You never see, and that sort of adds to the facade of Homelander because you never see him take his outfit off really.
No, yeah, he's always in that. You see him once when he goes to Sage, and he's in like regular attire.
Oh yeah,
That's got to be the only time you see him.
That's true. That's true. And he used to flap his little thing over, but he doesn't do that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I like the flapping the thing
Yeah,
over.
I like when he like grabbed his cape and like threw it around and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm super excited though. What were your guys' thoughts on this whole season? Did you like it? Do you not like it? Was it a little over the top for you, or was it just boys as usual for you guys?
What are you guys expecting from season 5? Let us know that in the comments as well.
Yeah. And what would you rank this, Hopper? What would you give it?
If seasons 1 through 3 are like an 8 or a 9, I might give this like a 7.
I was gonna say a 7 as well. A good VOT 7.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah.
7 on 7.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's.
Yeah, that'll wrap it up for us. If you want to see our other review, it'll be on the left side of the screen, our other first half of the season review. If you want to watch us review Invincible, which is another Amazon evil Superman show, essentially, that'll be on the right side of the screen. Subscribe is in the middle, and we will see you in the next thing we do.
Bye.